Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, my
Hello,
brother.
brother. This is my individual assignment. I want to make a short video of you, which topic is relationship between politics and economy. I will ask some questions. You just give me the answers in front of the camera. Okay, let's start it. And number one is during your process of growth, has your country's policy changed a lot?
First of all, I would like to wish you a good luck in your assignment. I hope you achieve the best in the scores. Secondly, we come back to your question. Um, as we know, in any growth, in any process of a growth, there must be some changes according to that growth. So, like for example, in my country, whereby they want to underpin their new plan of 2030, like vision, they made some adjustments in their policies. For example, like they imposes some taxes, whereby this is the first time we in Saudi, like in the whole policy system, we have such taxes for services and products. Secondly, they like, I'm just giving you like brief things to clarify the changes
Oh, you're
in
from
policies.
Saudi, right?
Yeah, I'm from
Okay.
Saudi, by the way. I'm sorry to got that one. All right. Like for example, they impose some, let's say, additional fees to foreigners to get like some sort of income out of them, because previously, like long ago, foreigners, they were just like living free life in Saudi, but nowadays they are just taking some revenue out of them. So these sort of changes that follow the growth plan in my country.
So that's for question one.
Okay, but question one, actually, I wanted, sorry, I forgot about that one. I want to divide it like into two parts. The first part is what was answered right now. The second part is in regarding my own government. It's like a monarchy government, whereby like you have, like for example, elite group, a royal family in our like example, whereby the royal family, they lead the country. Under them they have some structure, like bunch of people like doing such and such and such jobs. So and even this monarchy government is divided into like two types. I will give like a brief example. UK is the first type, whereby if they want to do a decision, this monarchy guy, you want to do a decision, he will pass it under the parliament. But in my country, it's like absolute monarchy, whereby it's just like unlimited power given to these people. So this is the second part of your question.
So all the policies will be implemented under the Sharia law.
Yeah, Sharia law, this is like the constraint, But the problem is the Sharia law itself. Who decide if this thing is under Sharia law or not? This is another issue, but let us not make it big,
Okay. Thank you. For the number two is compared to the former government and this government, has your life been affected or changed? Is there any improvement or betterment in your surroundings?
To be honest, in any changes and growth, as we said, like their growth plan, there will be some effects, and you cannot compare the current changes with the previous government. Why? Because the circumstances like surrounding this change is different. You have war in Yemen. You have like the huge reduction in petroleum prices and the war. So all of these things like really affected the policies made by my government. All right. However, it somehow leads to, for example, the obvious example, reduction in salaries. For my example, my salary has been reduced for certain amount, and all of these things like understood by the people, as long that it's followed by some changes. And the second part of your question, whereby that is it given like any betterment for the people? Frankly speaking, to give a decent judgment upon this matter, you cannot just give this judgment right now, because the government is newly in the position, and in any growth plan, most of the outcomes you see is a long-term outcomes, and we see like a lot of big projects are undergoing right now by the government, But to give a judgment whether this thing is given a beneficial thing or a harm, you have to wait a little bit to give. But right now, it's like optimistic view because you have some things are going. So inshallah it will be good in the future.
Okay. So, as far as I know, your government, I mean Saudi government, your king will be at the presidency for the many years, maybe more than 10 years. This is very different from the other countries, which
Yeah.
was maybe only 4 years at most.
Uh-huh.
So, what do you think of this? They're just they will give their positions to their sons, to their grandsons, or something like that.
That's why I told you this is our monarchy system.
Okay.
It's not like something by parliament voting or whatever. Our ruling system is like a tree, you know. It goes from the father, goes to his sons by the age or whatever, like the royal family agreed upon, who's the most appropriate guy to rule right now, you know. Like for example, previously it was only King Abdulaziz, may Allah show mercy upon him. All right. Under that king, his first row of sons. But right now, because like the current like situations need some sort of changes. So
Yeah.
now the ruling moved from the first row of sons to what, to the second generation. So, but as you said, there is no specific period that this ruler will rule until like Allah choose him, you know,
Okay.
to go. But this is the type of government we have, you know,
Yes.
like a royal family government, and we accept this one.
Even from very long ago, your government still be like this.
What?
I mean, they will be at the president. They will be at the position for the many years.
Yeah.
So, are you satisfied with your government? I mean, is it easy for you to have to get access to to their policies in your life?
To be honest,
Maybe some changes in your life, maybe, some changes in your education or medical care.
you mean like to get influence in the decisions?
Yeah. Is it easy for you to get these changes based on their policy?
Well, it differs from like a period to period, because let's say for example the previous king, he didn't like emphasize a lot on the such fields your concern is about. But nowadays the new ruling is coming with a new plan. Most of us, we see this plan is like really enhancing the people's lives in many aspects, because he's working on a comprehensive plan. So I can say that it depends on the government plan themselves, if they choose to make it bigger or they choose like certain corners to work on.
Okay.
But there is no actually like a big scope of people decision on this thing, because they choose from the community, but they are the one who's like given the decisions actually.
Okay, thank you. For the third, as a Muslim, what is your thought toward future policy of your country?
Interesting question. As any like brother, let's be honest to each other, as any like a good Muslim, he will wish the best for his country, you know. Like for example, if I had the chance to be, inshallah, one day, I will be focusing mainly like to improve I will just make it easy. I will improve the life in my country in all of the aspects. Why? Because you know, I see that first of all, to serve Islam is not just to talk about religious matters. I will give you one example to make it easy for you. Like in Prophet Musa alayhi salam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him to Pharaoh, you know, he didn't send him with only religion. He sent him with magic. One of the signs that he gave Prophet Musa alayhi salam is magic. Why? Because when you approach someone to win him, you have to approach him with the thing that he's good at, you know. So to take this
The
example,
magic was popular at that time.
it was popular.
Yeah.
He's like community popular of magic. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him, he sent him with the magic. Even the community around him, they submitted, you know. They said, oh man, this is beyond our power, you know. So take this example to our current time. If we want to give an effective image about Islam, we have to compete with these people who are like leading the world with the same attitude. If they are good in development, technology, we have to do this thing first.
Yeah.
Then we will like progress, inshallah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I will take a comprehensive plan to follow the current needs of the societies,
Okay.
inshallah.
Sure. So for number 4, as a student of IIUM, here neither your mother tongue nor my mother tongue, and even no native language we are speaking, but the fourth party's language, which is English, we are speaking. What do you think of this?
Well, brother, to be honest, I'm not happy with it. You know,
Oh.
let's be honest
Why?
with each other, because it's not like the language that is used by us, especially like in our religious texts. You know, and this made like a huge gap between the new generation with their religious texts, because most of the people nowadays just focusing about English, because English is the language of the
And especially here, which is a Muslim majority country, Muslim majority
You see?
university.
So this is the effect, the side effect of that one. So if it comes to me, I wouldn't like prefer it. But to be honest, let's be honest to each other. This life is not like Jannah. Jannah, you have a dominant Arabic language because this is Allah chose it. But in this life, the one who works hard, the one will like take over. So English, the people who speaks English are the one who's working hard right now. So that's why the language is proceeding, and as a result, we have to learn it. You know, but my feelings is different. But what is reality? It has to be, because English, it was like around the world are speaking English, so we have to do.
Maybe if we speak Arabic, it'd be better for
Inshallah.
not only for our
But
study.
Arabic will not come like from just a dream. You know, if you want Arabic to be like what is English right now, then you have to do the same thing. English took some hard effort to make English dominant language around the world. You know, whereby when you go back to the golden ages of Islam, whereby scholars from England, those people
But they
used to
also
come to
want to study Arabic
in
yeah.
our university.
Yeah.
That's why they speak Arabic. You know,
Yeah.
because we were like working hard, we made our language dominant.
Yeah. So why do you think it is English, not other language?
I think this answer
Not
is
Arabic,
already
not
there.
Chinese.
I think like my previous answer like already answered this one, because they worked hard, brother, and this is what Allah's justice in this earth, you know, because Allah, as Ibn Taymiyyah, one of the scholars, said that the meaning of his words that Allah will give even the kuffar, the non-Muslims, if they
Yeah.
are working hard.
Working hard.
Yeah, because what is
Because
like,
Allah is the most just. Yeah.
So in terms of giving what you deserve is deferred on the day of judgment. But right now it's about working. So these people, they worked hard, they spreaded their language in terms of their workings.
Yeah.
That's why they reached where they reached, you know.
Correct. Okay, so number 6 is, if one day your country declares that English will be its official language, what do you think of its effect or influence?
Brother, let's be honest to each other. It will create a great gap between the people and policies made by government and whatever is made, you know. Because now I will relate it to a good example. Let's say, for example, here in Malaysia, the English language is being taught for everyone from the foundations of their university schools, right? But whereby in our country nowadays, recently they started to implement English as a foundation from the basis of the schools, you know. Previously only private schools, they started with English from first grade. But nowadays even public schools, they started to emphasize on English. So to give such a decision, there must be a prior like plan to it, education, the generation, and that's it. You cannot just like surprisingly implement this thing. It will be create a great gap. But if there is a plan, the new generation shall have this decision, then the government, I believe that as a wise government we have, they will work on it, make sure that the new generation will have this decision, not the current generation, you know.
So maybe it's not impossible. It's impossible for Saudi to change their
right
official
now,
language. Yeah.
right now, because you see, let's be honest to each other. You see, we have a lot of people like from rural areas. As I told you, the previous generation they didn't take like English as a serious matter, you know, because as like simply it wasn't emphasized in their learning system, you know, in their curriculum. That's why. But if they took it, the new generation now they are starting to emphasize on it. Then change will change. As you see in Malaysia here, even the taxi driver, the old taxi driver, they speak English, brother. But if you come to my country, youngsters they don't speak English, some of them. So this is the effect of education. So it has to be education, you know, decision.
Maybe I think it has like a sword or a coin. They have double sides. If the young people, young students, they study English from really young, it's easy for them to get some the international abroad or international study. But if they focus on the studying Arabic, maybe it's better for their religion.
Better for the religion, brother, but let's be honest to each other. The religion, it's still better for it to have different languages because you can reach more. When I just speak Arabic, I will just be communicating with my people. My people is already, alhamdulillah, Muslims.
Yeah.
What I want to reach is the others.
Yeah.
The others, I need to learn the language.
Yeah.
Even the Prophet, peace upon him, he used to emphasize on some of his companions, go learn the Jewish language, go learn this.
Yeah. Recently, I read the book, which was written by the Qaradawi.
Qaradawi, yeah.
Qaradawi was he said that in order to spread our religion in some developed countries like Japan, US, or European, we have to study their mother first. Then it's better for us to spread our religion.
من تعلم لغة قوم أمن مكرهم. Whenever you learn like a language of a people, I think this is a saying of the hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him, or a wisdom I'm not sure regarding it. Anyway, when you learn a language of a people, you are secured from their bad things, you know. So you know that if you approach me, if you curse me, I will know that you will curse me. Not if I'm just passing by and I don't have, hey, this brother is ugly in your language, I don't understand anything, I smile on you. No. That's why.
So for the last one, is there any relationship between politics and economy? What kind of relationship it is or will be? What is your opinion?
Well, brother, the policies by the government, made by the government, is the main factor to economy.
Yeah.
Like, I will give you one example to make this case clearer, whereby you go for foreigners, all right? When they started to impose fees on the foreigner, all right? It's like a chain. When you have, you know, in our studies, supply chain, it's like a chain given to this factor. When you impose fees on the foreigners, this will create what? More burden on the employer employing these foreigners. As a result, this employer will give this burden of cost upon whom? Upon the society, by increasing the prices. So it's like something developed upon each other. And I will make it in short that policies are the framework for the economy.
Yeah,
You know, the framework that shape the economy. That's why.
So thank you, brother, for your cooperation.
Jazakallah khair. All the best. Wallahu a'lam. I hope that if something good people benefit, if something bad, may Allah forgive me and forgive all the Muslims.
May Allah bless
Jazakallah
you.
khair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Shukran.